All right. So, last time we recorded, it was VBS,
July.
July of 23, and now it's January of 24. So we're continuing our biannual podcast episode.
It's been
If
6
we keep this up,
months.
we're going to have 8 episodes by the time we're 30. All right. So since July, finished out VBS. I don't think there's going to be any stories since January because my memory's not that good.
Since this January?
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
Well, then let's start at July. Let's start in July.
Well,
The only thing I can think of from VBS was 2 people got in a fight.
2 people got in a fight. Yeah.
And they were staff.
Yeah. 2 VBS volunteers threw hands in the middle area. And there's not a video because there's not cameras in the middle section, which is a shame.
The thing is, they were best friends too. And it's
They
like
were really good friends.
they
They
threw
still
a
are.
basketball
They
at
still
one
are.
another, and then next thing you know, they were throwing hands at each other.
They still
Throwing
are.
hands.
At VBS.
Yeah.
So, like, how do you even do that? How do you get so mad at VBS that you just
I don't think they were mad at VBS.
not like mad at VBS, but like
Mad at each other.
Mad during VBS?
yeah, like you're supposed to be watching.
I talked
kids.
to them, and their excuse was there were no kids back there.
No, okay, well, they're fine.
That's still not an excuse to fight at VBS.
Yeah, but there were no kids back there.
We'll let it slide.
So after VBS, we had what, the leadership retreat,
There's got to be something between then and there.
because that was a big gap.
There was a big gap.
I mean, we
there.
got a new leadership team, but
Leadership team started.
I think there's 14 of us now, as opposed
We did
to
that
last
eat
year's
around the
5.
world thing.
We did the eat around the world thing.
Uh,
But that was,
Nothing notable happened at that though, really.
I mean, we were all kind of separated from each other.
No, because that night we went to my house and swam.
oh,
Was
And
that
that's
night?
That's when Cole said, "Bros, where the wild things are." Kellen, you want to tell that story?
Bros, what the wild things are?
Yeah.
I can't remember that story.
You can't. Okay.
I remember we went to your house, but I don't remember him saying that.
All right, so it goes like this. We were standing around. There's a song that starts like that, ain't there?
I couldn't tell you.
Off track. Come on.
There is a song called "Where the Wild Things Are," though.
All right, so we were standing around in the pool, screwing around. Kellen goes off to pee in the bushes. So he just gets out of the pool and walks, I don't know, maybe 20 yards away from the pool. And like we were all just continuing our conversation, and Cole Daniel Tanner, just to make sure everything's clear. So Cole says, "Bro is where the wild things are," just out of the blue, and nobody hears him. Nobody hears him except for me. And I looked at him, and it was so freaking funny. And he like went under the water and like sunk down under the water and stayed there. And I was like, no. And like I shut down all the other conversations, and I was like, Cole just said, "Bro is where the wild things are." And everybody busted out laughing because nobody had ever heard that expression before. And now
It's a running joke.
Yeah, now it's a household term.
Huh. I guess I was peeing, so I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I asked the
That's a good
wrong
point.
person.
I was 20 yards away doing something else.
That's a good point. That was when y'all threw cookies in my pool.
We did do that. I remember me and Joshua, I think we might have had to take someone home, but we had to leave, and Cole had the bright idea to shoot us with the water gun or shoot me with the water gun while I was trying to get changed while I had my phone in my hand, but he didn't know I grabbed his phone instead of my phone, so he shot the water at me, and I blocked it with his phone. And then his screen lit up, and he realized it was his background. And so he like started to chase after me because he realized he just completely soaked his phone with pool water.
We were spraying. We had all our phones on the table, and we kept spraying the table. Everybody's phone and clothes was on the table. We kept spraying the table.
That was a good night. That was the most thrown together.
I mean, yeah,
Last
we
minute
put that
thing.
thing together for in an hour,
Yeah,
and like what, over 10 people came maybe.
it was a good group.
It was a good
yeah.
bit.
Yeah, and then School started back. I had a job.
Oh yeah.
I got a job. I can't really think of anything.
That was over the summer. That wasn't during
Yeah.
the school
Yeah.
year.
Summer after we went to Mexico and went to Detroit, it was all just kind of laid back.
Yeah, nothing really happened over the summer.
Well, in July.
In July. Yeah. In July.
But so yeah, I guess the next thing would be
The link retreat.
the
Mm-hmm.
Link retreat.
Link
Which
retreat was
Joshua,
cool.
what does Link stand for? Because you made it up.
I didn't make it up. It was a group effort. I couldn't tell you. Leadership, no. Leading, influencing, navigating, and knowing.
We really need to change that.
That's
name.
For the glory of Jesus Christ.
Well, nobody else knows what that means, so we probably should change the name at some point.
Michael offered, but nobody gave him any ideas.
Nobody.
Because it's not a really easy acronym. You don't start with the acronym normally, right?
Mm-mm.
You say something and then
And
make
you
an
make it-
acronym out
make
of
the-
it.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
yeah. We were coming up with the words first.
Yeah.
And then we'd come up with words to go with the word. We did that at our
That's what y'all
leadership
did?
retreat before. When we went to our leadership retreat before you guys, we went to Universal, and we were in line for the Hulk. There was nobody there, so we wrote it like 8 times in a row. But that's what we did while we were in line. The few minutes that we were there is we throw out words, and then we come up with other words to use in the acronym, and it ended on link, and it stuck.
That was a fun retreat because it was a smaller group, so it wasn't everybody, and so
Our
we
link
all
retreat
just kind of
this
hung
year's.
out.
Yeah,
Huh?
this year's link retreat, not the one before.
Yeah, this year's. But I mean, we mainly just played volleyball the whole time, like
Yeah, we
during
played
free
a lot
time.
of volleyball. Played a lot of volleyball. We always do. Volleyball is just what we fall back on because it's so much freaking fun, dude. We're leaving that in. We're leaving that
We'll
in.
see if the mics picked it up.
I hope
I'm
they
like,
did.
it's kind of quiet. Like I was conflicted over like
Yeah. So
letting it go or just. Dang.
No, we're leaving that. We're leaving that first part in, buddy. You can't just clap that one out of existence.
So yeah, link retreat. Played some games. We slid across a basketball court on a tarp.
Mm-hmm.
That was terrible. We ripped the
Me and
tarp.
Landon. If Michael's listening to this, me and Landon cheated at the game where you had to hold hands and untangle.
Oh yeah.
We were at the very back, and he just looked at me, and he let go of my hand and grabbed it in a different way, and he was like, "Shh."
Dude, we were all in one circle, and we like got tangled up. We're supposed to come out in one circle, but we came out in like 2.
2 circles. Yeah.
Yeah. Who else? Who went on that retreat?
Everybody that was on
No,
link.
no, I'm saying adults wise. Michael, Molly,
Shannon.
Shannon.
He did the Sunday morning sermon, if you will.
Yeah.
Nathan
Alright.
Nathan didn't go, did he?
No. Nathan didn't even go to. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He,
I played
he
football
went
with
to,
him.
He went to the D now.
Yeah, he went to D now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because D now was really good.
I wonder if he'll go to Abide.
I hope so.
He didn't go to Move.
Freaking family. Dang it. Yeah,
So,
D now.
that was-
D now was really good.
Yeah. D-Now was 3 weekends after our leadership retreat.
Yeah. So
And that, I think D-Now was in October and leadership retreat
In
was in September.
between, was the beach trip in between?
Oh, shoot. I forgot
was the
about
beach
that.
trip in between?
That was in
Link
October.
and- yeah, but was it? Yeah, so it was.
Yeah.
Was it before or after the D now?
It had to have been before.
was it?
It was after.
Was it?
It was after. Yeah, yeah.
I think
I don't
it was
remember
like
any of the
The
dates.
weekend or 2 weekends after.
Maybe.
Yeah, because
Well-
it was the it's the
No,
break.
no. Wasn't it?
It was our fall break, and the D now was before fall
It
break.
might have been.
Yeah.
What,
You didn't go on the beach
Ge-
trip.
What, I know. What Georgia game was playing?
Auburn.
Auburn.
No.
Auburn. Yeah.
Was
Auburn
it Auburn
that.
or
No,
Kentucky? I think it was Kentucky.
It was Kentucky that
It was
weekend.
Kentucky? Okay, so that was when I was at
No, it may have been the Auburn game. 'cause-
Kentucky. I was at the Ware County homecoming for the Kentucky game because remember we watched it at the after party, but I didn't know if I came home and if you were there. I think that was when you were at the beach.
Was it?
So
Yeah.
Auburn was the week before? The Auburn game was the week before?
I think
Because
Auburn-
Landon knew the score to the Auburn game.
So it might have been the week before.
Let me look up the score real quick.
We're going to have to edit this part out. This is going to be horrible to listen to. Just as a listener.
1 second.
As a listener,
As a,
This is our
as a
podcast,
viewer
so
of
we
our
run
podcast, this is going to
the only
not be
people
fun
listening to
listen
it are the people in our youth group.
That's a good point. We have 10
And
people that listen
Crossroads.
to
We're
people.
leaving it in, baby.
Okay, what weekend? So we played.
So Ware County's homecoming was the 14th, so that's when we played Kentucky. I know that for a fact.
So we played Auburn on September 30th,
January, February, March,
and we
April,
played
May, June,
Kentucky
July,
on
August,
October
September.
7th.
Yeah, so it was the week before.
So
or 2
was
weeks before.
it? Which game was it?
Auburn.
Okay.
Well, no, y'all watched the Kentucky game at the beach,
Yes.
and then Auburn was the week before that. So yeah.
Okay.
Are we
So,
looking
yeah.
at-
So, Joshua, tell the story about Landon.
Okay, so if I screw this up, you're gonna have to come in. I don't remember it very well. It was funny, but we were getting ready to go out to the beach, and we get onto like the back patio, and there's a guy in the house next door who shares a boardwalk with us, and so this guy starts going down the boardwalk, and in his hand he has a cup with the Auburn Tigers logo on it, and Landon Brady decides to turn around and yell at him. Auburn sucks.
I wouldn't say it was Landon's decision. It was a group decision to tell Landon to do it, and Landon did it.
Yeah, Landon did it. And so the guy turned around and was like, not very happy with him. And he just kept walking.
No, he
And
said-
Landon just kept going and was like, Auburn sucks. And he like started yelling the score of the Georgia-Auburn game and whatnot. And the guy eventually turned around and was like, I'm a Georgia fan. I played for Georgia in the 60s. My wife went to Auburn, which is why I have this cup. And we thought it was funny. And the guy walked on. And we decided to go to the beach. And so when we were halfway down the boardwalk, we could see this guy standing on the beach waiting for us to get there. And so we're laughing, and we get there. And we just like kind of ignore him. We start doing our thing. And he starts walking over really slowly, and we're all watching him out of the corner of our eye. And so Mr. Shannon goes over there to talk to him. And after about them talking for 30 seconds, they call Landon over there. And Landon has to go and apologize to this guy. And this guy's like, hey, just don't be a jerk next time. Like, you know, don't do that. And Landon had to apologize, and it was funny.
Yeah,
So-
the funniest part about it was that, like, the very first thing the guy said was like, yeah, no, this is my wife's cup. You know, go Dogs. But Landon just kept yelling how much Auburn sucked. That was the funny part. Was that he was just like
He was completely oblivious
Yeah,
to it.
no, Landon knew he was a Georgia fan, and he just kept
So-
going like, Auburn sucks, 16-12. You know.
Yeah. And then he was just standing on the beach waiting
Yeah.
for us. We had to. We watched him get in trouble.
Yeah.
I feel like we watched Landon get in trouble a lot.
That's just the way it is. So yeah. So then after that was D now.
Yeah.
Oh, wait! Before we move on, can we talk about the McDonald's at Fernandina?
Dude, that was terrible. We stood around the McDonald's in Fernandina for probably 45 minutes.
For wrong orders and
Yeah,
melted
wrong
ice cream.
orders. Grant got a fish sandwich and was like, "Well, I didn't order a fish sandwich. I ordered an ice cream cone on my app like 20 minutes before we got there." And like when we got there, I stood around for like 10 minutes, and they brought my ice cream cone out to me, and then I had to wait another like 20 minutes for my regular food. Yeah.
Those were the worst fries I've ever had from anywhere. They
Yeah,
had
and
been sitting out for a couple of days.
The dudes that ordered the 40 piece, that like they were like,
Who's hungry enough to eat a 40
well, it was two guys. It was
Yeah.
two guys that ordered
Yeah.
a 40 piece, which is cool. But like they called 40 piece and they just stood there and like looked at us like we had ordered it, and then they like the lady was like, "Did y'all order it?" And the other dudes were like looking at us, And the lady was like, "Did y'all order it?" And pointed to the dudes, and they're like, "Yeah."
Yeah, they wouldn't. The employees would not turn off like the beeper.
Yeah.
Like we kept saying the fries are done, guys. They wouldn't turn it off. So yeah, terrible food. Great trip though.
So the D-Now trip, I guess, was a week or two after.
It would have been a week or two after that.
Yeah. So that was when
Ish.
I think I either did or almost dislocated my finger because it got like really big and purple.
Doing what?
Do you not remember that?
Yeah,
we were playing
Tyler
football,
popped it, yeah.
and I don't know what it was. I think I was going to block a pass, and I did, but it like clipped my pinky finger,
Yeah.
and I just knew something was wrong instantly because it started hurting really bad. But so I just kept playing the game, and it kept hurting. And I looked at it like 4 hours later, whenever we went to like our group or whatever, and it was like triple its normal size, like double or triple its normal size, and it was purple.
What was the score to that football game?
Like the score is 82 to 21. It was
'Cause
me.
people-
it sucks that,
people
that y'all let up 3 touchdowns.
No. It was me, Cole, and Jude.
And Tyler.
No, we didn't have Tyler. Versus Nathan, Tyler, Oliver, Michael,
didn't play.
Josh. I didn't play.
It was
Michael.
It was
Joshua.
It was people coming in and out the entire game.
Yeah, but
That's what
Grant,
was really annoying.
Joshua. The fact is, it was 8 versus 3, and the players with 3 people scored like 86 points, while y'all scored 3.
I walked in halfway through the game.
You also probably quit after it. Sorry.
No,
Yeah, because we needed people to play volleyball.
We
didn't
played
have
a lot
people
of
to play
volleyball. So Oliver and I didn't stay in our normal cabin.
No, we stayed with
Get in your hole.
Grant. yeah, we were all going to sleep one night, and it was kind of quiet. Nobody was really talking. People were going in and out of the bathrooms, and Tyler walks in the like cabin area of the cabin, like the bed area, and he goes. He just kind of looks around and he goes, "Get in your hole!" And we were all like, "What did he just say? What is that from?" But that was good. Me and we came.
I laughed so hard that night.
We laughed so hard with Jude and Dawson. One of them would fart, or one of them would, I don't know, make his bed squeak, and like we would all just start cutting up.
Nathan came
And
in there
Nathan would
3
like
or 4
slowly
times.
creep up on you and like stare at your face and be like, "Hey, you need to go to bed."
I thought it was funny because he had that red flashlight
did
with
have that
him.
red
He would
flashlight
like
on
turn
his
it on
watch.
in your face when he
Yeah.
snuck up on you.
Yeah.
Dude, in our cabin, I think it was Raiden. He does wrestling, maybe jiu-jitsu, I don't know. But he laid out 2 of the little mattresses from the bunk beds on the floor, and he's like, "Yo, can I show y'all like a wrestling move?" And so Cole's like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And so Raiden says, "All right, so you're gonna land on this mattress, so you're gonna be okay." And so Raiden like twists his arm and like flips him in the air, completely misses the mattresses, and Cole just smacks the ground, dude. And like he lands flat on his spine, and Michael's standing there watching him because Michael thinks it's about to be really cool what Raiden does. Raiden completely misses, and as Cole's in the air, you can see Raiden's face like he knows he messed up. And so we just all watch Cole just smack the ground, and like we just start laughing at him, and of course Michael's like, "Guys, I think it's time to go to bed now."
That's funny.
We kept sneaking through the windows. Or people kept having to go into the cabins through the windows because there were no keys.
You don't know. They wouldn't have to go.
Oh, no,
in
they
the
wouldn't.
cabin through
If
the
they were
windows.
just
They would just
patient-
climb through the windows
For no reason, yeah.
Sometimes the door would be open, and
Yeah, and
Landon
they climb
Bacon's
through
just
the windows.
flying through the window. He had the door. No, the door was wide open one time, and he asked me if I could give him a boost so he could climb through it. I'm like, no. No, the door is wide open. Just walk 2 steps over and walk in. He's like, "No, but my bed's right here." I'm like, "No, your bed's gonna be right there if you walk through the door." It's like,
Yeah, because I remember one night we were. This was one of the weirdest things that's ever happened to me on a U trip. We were just walking around one night at Epworth. We had free time. We were just kind of walking around, and there are these people out kind of like in front of the cafeteria. You know, when you look
Oh,
out at the
gosh.
cafeteria, you got Haggard's Hut right here.
Yeah.
And you go straight out this way, and it's the ocean,
Hut.
and then you got a little fire pit kinda
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah.
There was some people just hanging out over there, and there was a fire, so it was like. I remember Heidi and Mackenzie being there. I don't remember who else was there.
It was a
Probably
lot
you.
of
was-
us.
it
Probably
was-
you and Michael Bond.
It was
probably
me,
with
Hart, Heidi, Mackenzie,
It was a
and
big
then,
group
like,
of us.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, and Ryland.
And we
We
were
all kinda
debating whether or
walked
not
up
to
and
go
skirted the edge,
talk
and
to the
we-
people with the fire.
Yeah, and it was like 10 or 20 people sitting around smoking cigars, listening to like I don't even know what they were listening to.
It's
Bob
probably like
Marley
Lil Wayne or something.
No, they were listening to like old music
Yeah,
or something
old
weird
rock,
and just
yeah.
smoking cigars and hanging out, and we were like, we're gonna leave. We're
Didn't
gonna
you?
leave now.
Wasn't someone gonna ask if they could join them or something?
No, no, we just.
I
walked
know
up.
there was someone.
They
fishing
did
at
have
the dock.
s'mores.
There was some
So,
guy.
so
fishing
we
at
so
the
we
dock.
went to the dock, and Mackenzie went up and asked if he had caught anything, and I think as she said that he reeled in a fish,
Oh yeah.
and so he just showed us, oh, that's cool. So I struck up a conversation with him. He didn't keep a conversation worth of crap, so I just felt really awkward. So I was like, okay, well, you have a good night fishing, because it was like 10 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
and the dude's out there on the dock just changing his bait, and
I do think one of the best things that we've ever done on a youth trip was on that trip and when we played Manhunt.
Manhunt was good.
That
Me
that
and-
was
you
a
and Cole-
you
new.
and Cole, we
Dude,
would
that was so
run
cool.
and bark at people. We like, dude, it was like flushing quail out of the woods.
I know,
Like, we
it
just
was so
run-
cool.
we'd- It was that was fun. That was fun.
because I remember we did the first 2 rounds, and then whenever we ended, Michael came up and said, "Hey, are y'all 3 okay with?"
it was
Like,
Tyler. Yeah,
Was it Tyler?
Yeah, it was Tyler. Was someone.
he was like, "Y'all okay with being the next 3 guys for Manhunt?" We were like, "Yeah, dude." I remember Simon was like 20 feet up in a tree.
Simon got up in a tree. Zeke hid in bushes. No, Zeke or Drew. Zeke or Drew won.
It was Drew. No, I remember whenever Drew was a seeker, there was like 4 people in one bush, and he literally dove into the bush and like landed on 3 of them. But we had a good spot our first round.
We did, yeah. And I remember you and Cole. We had too many kids in one bush, and like I was kind of in the center of the bush, so nobody could see me. And me and Grant were kind of in the center. Grant was basically like
He was
inside of the
in
bush.
the bush.
I was between 2 bushes where it was covering me.
And it was
and
me
then
and Jude.
Kellen and Jude were just kind of like on the outside, leaning against the bush. Well, they found Cole and Kellen immediately, and then so like Cole and Kellen got up, and I just stood there because they didn't call my name or anything. So I just sat there, and Grant was right next to me, and they came back around and saw me somehow. I really don't know how they saw me. So I got up, but I thought that Grant got up with me.
He didn't.
He didn't. They did not see Grant, and it was the funniest freaking thing, knowing that Grant was just still sitting in that bush by himself.
that was
funny.
really fun.
That was good.
We'll have to do that one again. I won't go on another D now.
That's
Gosh, dude.
depressing.
What's it feel like? You're a senior
It's
now.
sad.
It's just your.
The
this
more
is
the
your
more I
last
think about it, the
semester
more
of
I'm
high
like,
school.
crap. I'll never get to like go sleep on the bunk beds and like if I ever go to a D now again,
You'll be a
like I'll have to
volunteer.
tell y'all to go to bed.
Yeah.
Like I won't be able to
I'm
laugh
not
with y'all.
listening to you. Dude, if he's
See-
my leader, I'm just going to be like, no.
Dude, if Joshua comes
No.
up and tells me like, "Hey, it's time to go to bed," and you're like, "No, you go to bed."
I'm not listening to you. J-Rob?
J Rob.
That'll be funny.
It was always Eli last year in youth. It was him and Uncle Taylor. They were my leaders. And Eli had to, like, give the lesson that night to us. And I'm just like, dude, you graduated, you guys. You're like, I'll listen to you, but I'm still going to send you a meme after this. It's like... Man,
Another
it was
funny thing that happened at that, or really annoying, really more than funny, was everybody thought they could play the piano.
That was so annoying.
Some people could.
so
And so for the
annoying.
whole weekend,
Dude.
every time we'd walk into our Bible study building, you'd hear the same 3 songs
Yeah,
on
same 3
repeat.
songs.
Dude,
that
and then Mr.
people
Surge
could
asked
play.
Lizzie if he could get up there.
Oh, yeah.
And he
started
just went
jamming
like
out, bro.
all out, dude. Sorry, that.
That one's staying in.
Okay.
You're keeping these in.
All right.
But
Okay.
I can't think of anything else really that trip.
We stayed in the rooms.
I will say this about Epworth: the food has gotten progressively worse.
Oh,
Every
the
time that
salmon
I've
was
been.
disgusting.
The first time we went, the food was decent. The food was
The
solid.
cornbread.
The food was
hit.
The cornbread hit. The cornbread was so good that I asked the guy who made this cornbread. I was like, bro, who made this cornbread? I got to find out who made this cornbread. And the guy was like, I think we get it from the store. It's like, oh.
It was
okay,
good.
well, that cornbread was really good.
We just went in with our hopes too high the next
the
time.
second time we went in and saw cornbread, and we were like, oh, yes, you know.
It wasn't the
I know,
same.
and it wasn't the same.
I remember during the leadership retreat, like the link retreat,
I forgot we went
We-
to Epworth there too.
like all we would do when we ate is we started singing songs.
That was
Yeah.
fun
And
the
so-
whole time. I never got sick of that at all.
But then the next time we went back with the rest of the youth, like none of us.
Nobody wanted to
that.
sing anymore. The next time at our D now, the very last like lunch, like on Sunday, what we did for most of lunch was play
I love you because.
"I Love You Because," and we'd spin the
That
bottle.
was,
and-
that was D now. That wasn't Link Retreat. 'cause
yeah, I know.
Tyler
That's what.
was
Yeah,
there.
I said D now. So
we made Tyler.
we made
do
all
that.
the
Tyler
adults
play I Love You
do it.
because. That was funny.
We got someone's like water. It was a Powerade.
It was an empty
bottle.
Powerade
And so I
bottle,
made
yeah.
everyone like clear their
I'm sure
trays
that-
out the middle, and I just spun it. And so I went first. It's like Oliver, I love you because. Da da da
I'm sure I
da.
had some shrimp
Then he
tails
spe-
and some, I don't know, barbecue sauce in that Powerade bottle too. And Michael Bond, dude. You okay, Cal?
I'm good.
Okay. Michael Bond was sick. Or like not sick, but his sinuses were a little bit stuffy, so he couldn't really
Oh,
smell
yeah.
or taste anything. He wasn't, not COVID or anything, obviously, but he was just a little bit stuffy. And we got this chocolate milk bottle, and it had shrimp and like a broccoli and some
Barbecue. We had. I know it had barbecue sauce.
Yeah, just whatever kind of the typical like sixth grade,
Little
lunchroom
prank.
concoction. And Michael just looked at me and was like, "Wouldn't it be funny if I drank that?" I was like, "What?" And he like reached over and grabbed it and like legitimately drank a little
Ew.
bit of it. And we
I
were
must
all
not have
like,
been at the table.
nobody was like, "Bet you won't drink it. I'll give you $20."
He just did it.
He just did it. And we were all like, "Oh,
Ew.
okay, all right, Michael." And like he drank it because he knew he wouldn't taste it, but still, we were all like, "All right, Michael."
Like even the thought of having it's like ugh.
Yeah.
I think that concludes
I
D
think
now.
that concludes D now. Yeah. A super funny thing that happened at youth. I say super funny. It's gonna be disappointing now. A mildly funny event that happened at our youth group one night. We were playing dodgeball, and Cole was on a team. So we had like 3 different teams that we would rotate through because we had so many kids. So like every game you'd swap a team out if they lost. Well, Cole's team was out, and Kellen's team was in, and Kellen was playing, running around, doing whatever. Well, Cole got a ball and hit Kellen with it. Cole was not in the game, and so Cole hits Kellen, and we all on my team just started going, "Kellen, you're out. Kellen, you're out," like really pressing him that he was out.
Dude, and somebody
Kellen
told me
got
out. Somebody told me I wasn't out, but all of y'all were screaming at me,
Yeah,
and
we were
Hart
all
was
yelling
like
at you.
on the middle line, like screaming
Yeah.
and like pointing at me.
And you got out.
It's hilarious when
And, I
Hart
went,
gets
and, then
pressed.
our team, and then our team lost the game.
You got out by a person who was not playing.
It is hilarious.
No, I didn't know that until I went over to like that circle table. And
Yeah, we
everyone
were all
and
dying
it was
laughing.
like, Kellen, Cole got you out. And then Landon tried to take credit and said, "No, Kellen, I got you out." I was like, "Bro, no, you did not."
It's hilarious when Hart gets pressed.
Yeah. And then
Move conference, I guess, because it was just
Played
kinda,
some games. Any D
Kellen
group.
shot his first duck,
Yeah.
I did shoot my first duck.
which was cool. We can turn this into a hunting podcast real quick.
Go for it. I'll sit here and listen.
Me and him went. What day was it? It's like
Uh,
a day before. So it was the 23rd because it was the day before Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
We went to a hole we call the first slough, and it was a decent morning. Only had one group come in, just the 2 that came in.
Just the 2 that came in, yeah. I mean, there was plenty that like flew over.
Yeah, there
but,
was
like,
a lot
none of them
that flew
stopped.
over. And Kellen.
Okay, it was like my second time.
Kellen-
It was my second time
This is Kellen's
going.
second duck hunt, and wood ducks are incredibly spooky. So you have to be real still, real camouflaged.
They're scary.
They are. They're
They freaking float in.
Yeah.
It's like
so they're real wary. Well, a group would fly over and kind of start to come in the hole, and Kellen would point at him. Kellen would throw his arm up in the air and point at him like I didn't see him. And like one or two groups I know almost came in the hole when you pointed at them, and they didn't come in the hole.
I know
And
there
had
was
to
there
be
was
I had
some
to
like probably over 100 yards away from us, and like my right hand was kind of down to my side because I was holding the shotgun in my left hand, and I barely reached my hand up and pointed.
And they saw you and they flew
No,
off.
they were like 100 yards away, and Oliver was like, "Put your hand
Yes,
down."
because they saw you and they flew off.
They were 100 yards away.
They
Those
saw you,
those
I'm
weren't the
telling you
ones that
right
were coming. Now there was like I think two that kind of flew in. They were probably 30 feet above us. And that one I shot my
Yeah,
arm
you
out.
did.
And
You did shoot your arm out.
I shot my
Kellen,
arm out.
stop
They
pointing.
stopped for a second, and then they just took off again.
Yeah, and then
But I learned my lesson.
so he learned his lesson, and a pair came in. Drake and a hen landed about 20 yards in front of him, and he pulled up and shot that drake. And I'm talking about Kellen killed that drake.
Dude.
That duck was sitting about 20 yards away from Kellen, and he shot that thing, and he was dead.
I didn't miss a pellet. I don't think.
He was dead.
Dude, his wings were
We're gonna
freaking-
see what the taxidermist can do with him, but and then I went to go.
You
I
shot at-
walked out I walked out to look for a hen that was down, but eventually flew up. So I was kind of in front of Kellen, and another group came in.
Did they?
Yeah, because remember I yelled, "Don't shoot, don't shoot," because I was beyond the ducks were between you and me. So I was like, "Don't shoot, don't shoot."
I thought that you were saying if something did come in, don't shoot.
The only reason I tell that story because it's so cool is because the exact same spot I was standing where Kellen was standing on the same day, actually, just
2 years before.
apart, and is where I killed my first duck.
And then, like, what, 50
Yeah,
yards
really.
away, you shot your first deer from a
Yeah,
stand?
and then about 50 yards away is where I killed my first deer. So that's why that's just kind of cool.
That was the day after we gift wrapped Michael's office.
That was the day
Yeah.
after we gifted.
Oh, we can talk
Dude,
about
our
that.
Our youth pastor, he was going on vacation with his family in Florida
Christmas, yeah, for
Christmas, and we got the bright idea, dude. Let's do something to him.
Not we. It was all J-Rob.
yeah.
It was
all
Joshua. Joshua was like, dude, we got to do something to like prank him.
What were we gonna
Like,
do
yeah,
originally?
We were gonna
Saran
saran
wrap
wrap
his
his truck, but
and then we were told
realized
not to. Yeah.
His kind of neighborhood would probably call the cops on us. We're like, yeah, maybe that's not the best idea. And so Joshua comes up with a brilliant idea. Dude, let's go buy a bunch of wrapping paper and gift wrap every single thing in his office. And we
yeah.
stuck to that plan. And it probably took us around a solid
15 or 16 hours.
15 to maybe 18 hours to get it completely done.
Walls, chair,
Well,
items on the desk,
Items inside the desk.
items inside the desk,
Some of-
items
yeah,
inside drawers.
We wrapped
There
some really
was
funny
a
things.
bag of glow sticks, and we wrapped the glow stick bag, but we took the glow sticks out and wrapped the glow sticks and put them back in.
and then rewrap the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wrapped some funny stuff. One of the funniest things to me that we wrapped is like once a month our church will do these prayer cards on little index cards, and you'll pass them around down your row, and you'll write a prayer request, and then they'll get taken up at the end of the service, and like the pastors and staff will pray over them and read them, you know, so they can know what to be praying for. And they were on the desk, and we found them. And so at first everyone was like, do we wrap these? Like, these are serious. This isn't like just like a pig toy that he had on his desk. Like, these are
I wrapped
prayer
the pig
requests. And so
toy.
we were like, do we wrap them? And Oliver walked out to go to the bathroom, and I said, guys, we're going to wrap them.
And Cole
so Cole
Tanner,
wrapped them.
I mean, the most beautiful piece of wrapping that you have ever seen in your life. Like, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
Michael-
and then he had 3 pictures on the wall that Cole's never wrapped anything before. Anything to do with decorations and Christmas. Cole Tanner is your man. And I say that because the year before for Rec, it was the Happy Birthday Jesus Sunday. For our rec time, we decorated cookies. And you would have thought Cole Tanner was a professional design baker artist.
It was legit. It was weird.
It was
how
the most
good Cole's
beautiful
cookie looked. Yes.
And
Yeah.
nobody wanted to touch it. Because it's like, why
It
would
was
you touch
perfect.
something that was so perfect?
Yeah.
It was.
And
yeah.
so this year, he
wrapped
found
everything
out he
perfectly.
found a new thing. He can wrap things to perfection.
Dude, Cole turns into a 45-year-old woman from December the 20th to December 25th
Yep.
every year.
Yep.
That's Cole. It's like the bat signal.
Dude, shout out to Peyton because he was the
Shout
MVP.
out to Peyton.
Peyton probably wrapped
My guy.
2/3 of the wall. And then Michael has these big chunky chairs, and there's 2 of them. So people
Oh,
sit
yeah.
in his office.
Oh, yeah.
And we walked in there the first day, and Peyton's like,
I
we're
said,
like, okay, everybody,
yeah.
what do you want to do?
I said,
And
what do y'all want to do?
Peyton says, I'm gonna get these chairs. And within 30 to 45
He
minutes,
had them
Peyton
things
had
wrapped,
these
bro.
massive chairs,
Had them things wrapped.
completely wrapped.
Yeah, they had to have been hard to wrap. They were so weird
Dude,
shaped.
he got so frustrated with it. And then Michael had this big old stroller that was like into a ball, kind of.
Yeah.
It was folded up.
It was folded.
into
It was a
ball.
folded up,
It wasn't
and so
into
it
a
was
ball.
put into the corner. And Peyton just, I guess, has the idea he's gonna wrap the hardest things in the office, but he did it so perfectly. Like everything was completely covered.
Yep. So
So shout out to you, Peyton.
every
If you're
single
listening.
thing was wrapped.
Michael said the funniest thing about it was he grabbed his rubber pig
Yeah.
and it squeaked. He said
was
that
wrapped.
made him laugh.
Yeah, we put it on the desk. Yeah, that was another thing is once we got everything on his desk wrapped,
We
by the
didn't
time
know
it was
what
the
it
end,
was.
we didn't know what everything was. So we just kind of, some of it we did, but we just kind of assumed and put things in different places.
Yeah, like
and
the
so
pig.
some of the
We
stuff,
knew what the pig was.
some of the stuff must have been in the wrong spot. So
But the funny thing is that the day he came home, well, actually, no. He came home Tuesday, and that Thursday we were going to Wild Adventures for the Move conference. But Michael had to get all the papers and the documents ready for everyone to be able to go, and all the tickets. And somebody texted him on his way home, was like, "Hey, can you run by the church and whatnot, and
see if this person
see
can
if
go.
this person
yeah.
would be able to go?" And the night before, we had put a camera in his office to get his reaction, but we were expecting him to come Wednesday because we didn't expect him to come to the office the day he got home. So he's like, "Yeah, I can swing by." So Joshua gets an alert on his phone, and we're FaceTiming our friends, and me and Joshua are up in Athens. And so we FaceTime all of our friends.
Oh no!
and we
It was Tim Gerald that messaged me first because he was in the
Oh,
back
yeah.
cleaning, and I got a I knew Michael was there. We were watching the camera because my dad had messaged Michael to he gave a leading message so Michael could give an answer of how far out he was and whatnot. And so I knew he was going to be there in 5 to 10 minutes. And so we're all watching the camera, and I get a message from Tim Gerald, and he says Michael just got here, and I was like, oh well, now we know Michael's here, and we watched him on the camera.
So yeah, he.
The
was-
first thing he said
he
when
was
he
not
walked
happy.
in. No, he didn't seem happy at first. He seemed overwhelmed. But the first thing he said was somebody had way too much time on their hands.
Yeah. And so he looked around everything, and he's like, "Dude, I gotta find this stuff."
Yeah.
And he looks at, and me and Josh were talking through the camera to him, and we're telling him Merry Christmas. Cole's on FaceTime, and he's telling him Merry Christmas. And so Michael looks at the camera, he's like, "I'm about to unplug this right now."
Yeah, he
And
was like, I'm going to
unplugged
unplug
it.
this now.
So I called Cole because me and Joshua couldn't save the video without the camera being plugged in.
Mhm.
So we called Cole, who had just gotten his license, and we're like, "Hey, we need you to go to the church and plug that camera back in.
Mhm.
Otherwise, we can't get the video." So Cole, I think he was playing Fortnite. Yeah, because he was playing Fortnite with Michael and Grant. Completely
Bond,
got
not
off the
Michael
game
Covey.
mid-match and drove to the church and saw Michael just start unwrapping everything. So he was in there, and Michael still doesn't have everything on. It's January 11th today.
Or 12th.
The 12th, and Michael doesn't have everything.
He has everything
unwrapped.
that he wants unwrapped. There's a little pole for water or fire. I think it's leading to the fire sprinklers or whatever. And he said he's not going to unwrap it.
Yeah.
So it's just going to stay wrapped.
Because Peyton did it. It was perfect.
It was perfect.
I mean,
We wrapped under the desk. We wrapped
we wrapped the
behind
floors,
everything.
the ceilings.
blinds.
We cut out the lights for the
Yeah.
ceilings.
Oh yeah, we pulled out 2 ladders just
And
to
we
wrap
didn't
the ceiling.
realize. We did realize those sprinkler heads were very sensitive. And
Did you
so,
turn a sprinkler on?
you know,
No.
if he were to just take all the roof, the roof wrapping down in one thing,
Yeah.
the sprinklers would have gone off, and everything in his office would have been soaked.
That's
And
fine.
so that could have been bad.
That'll be our Christmas prank next year. I'm joking.
And we put,
Wrapping his office?
Joshua
No,
has a
spraying his
cardboard
office.
cutout of Justin Bieber too, and so we put that in his office. And did you finally get it back?
I have it back.
He got it back.
So yeah, like Kellen said, Michael got there on a Tuesday, and so another funny thing was everybody from church that was there on Sunday morning got to see it.
Oh yeah.
So we just kind of stood in the corner, and everybody came by and was like, "This is great, guys! You know, yada yada. How long did it take?" And so everyone got to see it. We taped off the door so no one would walk in there and mess up the floor wrapping paper.
Yeah.
So
But
that was cool. We had a little sign that said, "Help us keep the secret. Don't tell Michael."
Yeah.
So that was my biggest fear, is that someone would walk in on Sunday morning and like take a picture and send it to Michael and
Imagine
be like your
what-
office
Oh,
man?
Dude, I
That
would
would've
have
been
been
terrible.
so upset.
That
dude.
would have
would've
been
been
terrible. That was my biggest fear. Or even just sending it to Molly and be like, "Have you seen Michael's office yet?
Yeah.
Or did you hear about this?"
Yeah.
That would have been
That would
terrible.
have been bad.
So
But so yeah, then we had move conference the next day, or no, or
in 2
on
days.
Thursday.
Yeah.
And me and Joshua were in Athens, so we woke up at 4:30 to 5 in the morning, and drove all the way to the church, so like 4.5 hours, and then met up with y'all, and then went to Wild Adventures for
Yeah.
3 days in a row.
Okay, before we get to move conference, I do want to say something. I guess brag. So me and Kellen got to tour George's football facility
$80 million football facility.
in Athens. Our uncle used to work in the athletic department, and he knows a guy. So we went in, and the guy was like, "I'll give y'all a tour." I don't think we were supposed to do that. This guy was like, "I've never given anybody a tour before," but we got a tour. So we got to go in
Yeah.
the locker room. Me
Me-
and Kellen took a picture in Brock Bauer and Carson Beck's lockers
'cause-
right by each other.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
So we got to go into the weight room. We got to go into their practice
Onto the
field, which
practice
is called the
field.
House of Pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we got to take pictures in front of the national championship trophies, SEC,
The Heisman
Coaches Award,
trophies.
Heisman.
We got to see
We
Kirby
got to see
Smart
Kirby
office.
Smart's office.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They have an actual arcade and golf simulator.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do. Like
And
it's a
so-
whole arcade and a golf simulator.
And so
There's a whole
we got to go
restaurant in
to
there.
everything in there. So
Um,
it was really, really cool.
Yeah, even just their what's it called? Their medical bay is just
Dude.
massive. Like there's just hundreds of medical machines and like tables in there for all the
For
players.
recovery,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So that was
So
really cool.
It was really cool to see, like, because there's people from Pierce County on the Georgia team, and so I walked around and I found like some people that are on the team from Pierce County,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is really cool.
We passed the players on the way to Athens.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We saw all the buses go by, and my dad was like, "Hey, that's the Georgia team going," because this was a few days before the Orange Bowl where they
Yeah.
played Florida State.
There
So
was-
none of them were there. Sadly, we watched them leave. But
There was some guy, I think his name was like Donovan Williams, I think. He's on the Georgia team, and his locker is right by Brock Bowers
Mhm.
and Carson Beck, and he left his playbook journal, kind of like a little spiral notebook
Uh-huh.
full of like plays and notes and everything, and it had his name and then it had his number under it.
Oh yeah.
So I took a picture of his number, and I forgot about it till now.
we
actually,
should message him.
You should
later.
announce
I should,
it.
like,
Announce
message
it right
him
now.
or,
Pull
like,
it up and
text
announce it.
him.
Not right now. Not right now. We
I'm-
don't
no,
want
I'm
to mess
joking,
up the
I'm joking.
podcast.
Don't do
We'll
that.
do it later.
But like I'll be like, yo, don't tell this, but like I like sat in your locker, kind of went through it because like we could open the locker.
Oh yeah, no, we went through everybody's locker.
So,
like we could
I
open the
found Brock,
seat.
I held up Brock Bowers like size 11 or 12 shoe.
Yeah, we could
Air
see all
Force
their
One.
shoes. All
Air
their
Max.
stuff was at the top, and there were little side doors that they kept all their clothes in, like their workout
You know, like
clothes.
Brock's pads, helmet, everything. It was like right there.
It was really cool.
So yeah.
Shoot,
Yeah.
bro, I might want to snag something.
We snagged that guy's phone number. See, it would be really cool.
We
if
got
Kellen-
that. We secured
You
the
should have
number.
left him a note. That would have been cool.
That would have
That
been
was-
cool.
well, there wasn't any like pens or pencils there.
I'm sure we could have found one in a locker. I'm sure we could have found one.
Yeah, I assume that there's not. I assume that by the front desk there's not a little like freaking.
Well, no, the front, like no.
This was the
the
locker
front,
room.
His-
the front entrance was
Like
like
it-
being renovated and
like
everything.
like a guest book for a wedding.
No, but something that was really cool. Our granddad was a Georgia football running back and played in the Cotton Bowl, and he was also
A sprinter.
an SEC champion track runner.
Yeah.
And so it was really cool to like walk through the hallway and see
In
like
the
under
track-
SEC
in the
champions
track
in the
department.
track department is like Kent Lawrence up there. And so to see his name was pretty cool. And then to see his team picture on the Georgia wall of all the teams, to see him on there was pretty cool.
One
And then
thing.
Stetson Bennett was
Yeah,
obviously.
the halls were really cool. The halls were just lined. All the offices was just photographs of like really cool plays and
Yeah.
catches, and that was really cool. But one thing that I found out that was funny was there was a wall for if you fumbled the ball, the players would find an old baby picture of whoever fumbled it, and they'd
Yeah.
print it out, and they'd leave a note on this door. And so there were like a couple of notes and baby pictures of the players,
Yeah.
and they'd leave a note along the lines of, I don't know.
It was either the running back or the wide receiver, like, kind of room.
They'd make a
like
joke, and
position
then they'd
room.
say, "I couldn't hold on to the ball."
Oh yeah.
So that was funny.
So, yeah,
Because it would have all their like little pictures of them playing pee wee football or
Yeah.
whatever.
There was one picture going into the hallway to see, like, all, like, the staff coaches' rooms and everything.
Yeah.
And it was a picture of Georgia versus Alabama on the 1 yard line. And what's really cool to see, because you notice all the players on there. At least there's 11 guys on the field on each team, so there's 22 guys on there.
Mhm.
Over half of them I could pick out, like, he's on this team in the NFL, he's on this team. It's just cool to see all those NFL players, like, from those two teams. Just so many of them right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the no, I'm thinking of a different team. I'm thinking of LSU, Alabama.
Oh yeah,
in
no, that one
2020.
was good.
There was something that was cool that Kirby had won and done himself. There was a cornerback transfer
Mhm.
from
No, it was a receiver.
the receiver. No, so the guy went to Tennessee. He went,
Titans or the
no
Tennessee
like
College.
Volunteers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he transferred from Georgia to Tennessee, and Kirby, and the next year they played, this guy came and basically like mossed him and just completely dogged on him, and Kirby like took like the best picture they had from it. He made it into this massive like blow up picture, and he put it on the wall of like Great Place to prove like, hey, this guy transferred, and this is what we did to him.
Let's go to Move Conference. We've talked about.
All right, this will be we'll go to a commercial break and then we'll come back and we'll be on Move Conference. So yeah, Move Conference 23 was a million times better than 22.
Yeah.
Like it was way better than last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Way better. We actually got to ride rides.
Yeah,
You're right.
last year we rode probably 2 a day because, everything was so packed.
Yeah. Yeah. Now next year they said that Move Conference, only the kids from Move Conference will be in the park.
Yeah, they're completely closing down the park to the public so that people coming to the conference will be able to ride a lot more.
I won't
Too
be
bad.
there.
Yeah, too bad you won't be there.
Deuces. Unless I stay and become a leader and become a chaperone.
Real quick before we talk about Move, what's it like to know this is your last semester of high school? Of required school, you're done after you can be done after this unless you want to go to college.
I guess it's just strange. You realize a bunch of stuff. Like, I don't know. You just start realizing more stuff, you know? Like everything becomes a little more important to you.
I guess I'd be like, oh man, I wish I'd.
I know.
I'd
That's
play back,
exactly
like,
what
man,
it is.
I wish I would have done
That's
that.
exactly what it is. Is like I think about like because I was a senior on the last D now, and during that whole D now, I was like, I need to make this good because this is my last D now. And so like since then, I'm always like, man, I wish I had always enjoyed past trips, like middle school trips, past D nows. I was like, I wish I could have enjoyed those a little bit more because now that I'm actually a senior, I have to think. I need to enjoy this, you know.
Yeah.
And this last one was definitely the best one, and they do get better as you get older.
In
But
which we're gonna
No,
go.
I think they're so good right now because we're in the golden age.
That's
This
what I'm-
is the golden age.
Like when we were,
Of
you were in
youth
8th
group.
grade, you were a freshman, I was in 7th grade. When I finally got to youth, we'd look up to like the sophomore, junior, seniors.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I remember we would look up and be like, man, they're having such a good time. And now that's
us,
like to see like Kel, Dawson, Jude, like that's what they're looking to us right now.
Mm-hmm.
not
And which
you.
I think we do a really good job of including them and letting them have a good time so they can enjoy it too.
I'm trying to, man.
I hope we do. Me and
sorry.
Oliver were talking about that the other day.
Kel at the Move conference, I realized he is hilarious.
Really,
dude.
all the middle schoolers are not.
Yeah, it
bad.
doesn't matter. You
Most
just have
of
to
the
get to
time-
know them.
Yeah, most of the time when middle schoolers are being annoying, you you can make them less annoying. You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
I think we hated on middle schoolers the most when we were in the start of like high school because we
Yeah.
weren't the middle schoolers.
Yeah.
But now that we're older high schoolers, we can see the good in the middle schoolers, and obviously they're still going to act like middle schoolers sometimes. But I
Like
guess
getting
there's
in
a
fight
sense
at
of like
VBS, but
I think for me another thing that I've realized being a senior is like I wish I still had some of their humor and still wish I had some of their like innocence, if you will, carefreeness. They're so carefree.
Yeah.
There's so much more that I have to worry
Lack
about.
of responsibility.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, this is the golden age of youth group.
For us, yeah.
I mean, just the combination of kids that we have.
and dude,
top tier.
since the past year, we've grown like tremendously.
we have grown a lot.
Because like last year there was probably 20 kids, 20, 25 kids that went. This year was like
Close to, I think it was like 43 or something.
I thought it was
like-
more around 50.
No, it was lower 40s because it was originally 35, but then Michael said 6 or 7 people came last minute,
That's true.
so it was lower 40s. So
Yeah,
you know what
we've
really
grown.
helps with us growing is Detroit.
Wait, what?
Kellen was saying that we've really grown a lot. I think what's really helped us, one thing that helped us tremendously with that was Detroit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, sharing a cat, like, I know, like, on D-Nows and stuff, we share a cabin. But usually it's, like, middle schoolers in one, high school in one. But Detroit, we were all, like, crammed in together.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we just got used to each other and enjoyed each other's, like, presence and company.
Well, and there was a part of Detroit that just wasn't fun. You know, there was a part of Detroit that like getting up at 6 and going and helping cook breakfast like just isn't fun.
It was
Yeah.
responsibility. And
Yeah,
I think
but
the
like-
fact
no,
that
no,
we
no,
all
I'm
had that responsibility made it more enjoyable.
Well, I'm saying like being tired together, being sleepy together, being
Worn out together.
worn out together.
The experience,
You know.
like, the experience of it is bad, but the experience of it together.
Yeah.
I don't think any part of it was bad.
It wasn't
I'm not
bad.
saying bad,
It wasn't
it's
bad.
just-
It's just you're doing something that you don't want to do, but the fact that you're doing it with people you care about and have a good time with makes it enjoyable.
Oh, yeah.
That was so
Like, because
poetic.
We're gonna have to put that one on a
I'm
shirt.
gonna put it on a
That one's
t-shirt.
going on a shirt. Yeah.
That was going in my Instagram bio.
But like, cause I know me and Cole hate getting up early. Like we all know Cole hates getting up early, but like me and him like being groggy and having to carry all the plates down from the kitchen upstairs, and like not tripping and falling down the stairs.
I would really hate it if I lost that quote that you just had.
No, he's still going.
No,
So
I've got it
before
locked up
before
here.
we move back to the topic of Move Conference, I do want to bring up one thing that we didn't talk about in the last podcast about Detroit. Was my phone ringer going off at like 6 in the
my
morning
gosh.
and me not
6:30.
waking up.
It was 5:30.
No,
yeah.
I think it was more around 4:30 to 5.
I think it was more around 3:30. It may have honestly been 2 o'clock.
No.
Yeah.
It was 2
Breakfast
o'clock.
was ready.
No, it was 2 o'clock because I remember Grant. He got up because Joshua wouldn't turn his stupid phone off because he didn't know what was going on.
I was asleep.
And
I was
Grant,
dead
like-
asleep.
Okay, so Joshua's bunk was above Grant's, and so Grant had to like get out of his and climb up the ladder to like reach Josh because Joshua's phone was on the complete other side of him. So he had to like reach over Joshua, and he stopped it and he realized it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
It wasn't actually 2 o'clock in the morning. It was nowhere.
Kellen's
It was
lying.
like
It was like 6:30.
yeah,
6:30.
Because at breakfast we had to be ready for breakfast at 7.
yeah.
But there's no way it was 6:30.
It was.
It's probably
Dude,
early.
those peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Oh my gosh, dude.
Dude, we
Those
ate
are the-
400 grams of protein
Dude,
that week.
I
Dude,
ate
holy
two-
crap.
dude, every single lunch for a week. I ate 3 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
We
Three?
ate so much
3.
food.
I would
but
get 2 first
yeah.
round, and most of the time I'd go back for another one.
Yeah. We need every ounce of energy that we could get
Dude,
that week.
that
though.
shepherd's pie on the last day. Oh my
And the
God.
pizza they got from like
That was the
Costco or
first time,
whatever.
most everybody's first time having shepherd's pie. It was my first time. It was
Was
good.
it?
Yeah. We've never had it.
Okay.
I know
don't
a
know
bunch
if it
of
was
other
my
people
first time
had
or
it.
not, I don't know.
That was cool, man. Ralph and Mate, man.
Kenny,
It's just funny that it's so cool to me that I got to be friends with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, just out of everybody, it's just funny how they just like.
you can make a friendship that quickly. By
Yeah,
being
and
nice.
it's so cool how it happened that it just happened that they came up to me and like asked me a question or something, and I just happened to ask like, "What grade are you in?" And they said fourth grade, and I was like, "Oh, sweet, you're gonna be in my group." And then Ralph and Monte and his Tribe Called Quest shirt, because I said he was wearing a Tribe Called Quest shirt, the rap two dudes that rapped in the '90s. And I was like, "Oh, cool, Tribe Called Quest. You listen to him?" And he was like, "Huh?" I was thinking, "Here we go. I'm going to start a conversation with somebody, And he was like, "What?" I was like, "Tribe Called Quest." And I kind of pointed at his shirt. He's like, I don't know, man."
I'm just wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
No, it was really cool because I kind of went into it being like, okay, I don't know how they're going to react to us coming in. I know they've done this in the past, but like, because we were the first week there. So it's kind of like, okay, how they were going to respond. But our group, instead of going and doing like prayer walk, we went and helped with the church and like set up tables. But before that, there was the kids in there for the daycare. And so we just got to play with them for 45 minutes before we like helped the church with moving tables and stuff.
Who was it? I just thought of this funny story. Before we went, we had 3 or 4 or 5 like Detroit meetings at church, like before we went to get prepared with our lessons and whatnot. And they'd explain to us what the environment would be like. And I think it was Molly who was like, "These kids don't sit on grass." And we were like, okay. So she was like, if you ask them to sit down, like, they were probably going to prefer to sit on the concrete than the grass. And we were like, okay. And we got there, and I don't remember who it was. But someone
it was either Hard or Drew.
It was it was Jude.
It was Jude.
It was Jude. There was a group of them around, and Jude walks up in full confidence. "Do y'all sit on grass?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, man, we sit on grass."
sit on grass?
And he's like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Because I remember he came back that night. He told me, he's like, "Just so you know, they do sit on grass." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I went up and asked him." I was like, "You asked if they sit on grass, dude?" He was like, "Yeah, because they said they don't usually sit on grass." I'm like,
Well, you don't ask
"Okay, you don't just go and be like, hey, yo, you sit on grass, dude?"
I remember probably the sweetest thing that happened. Not sweetest. That's kind of weird.
Oh.
You can use it. You can say sweetest.
No,
I think
probably the part that was like just like genuinely funny.
that doesn't equate to sweetest.
Well, anyway, I don't know, whatever. One of the cool parts was I had hair kind of past my shoulders, like maybe just a hair past my shoulders. A hair, maybe just a little bit past my shoulders, or like right at my shoulders. And I had it down because we couldn't wear hats because we didn't know what we were representing. That was the funny thing. One of the first things Kevin said was like, if you're wearing a hat, take it off. You don't know what color you're representing.
Dude, we had been on a plane
And
in the airport
I was
for
wearing
like
a
6
hat.
hours.
I was wearing this hat with a turkey on it, and Kellen was wearing one with a duck on it. And me and him looked at each other like, "Okay,
It was like, I got a Drake right here. What does that represent?
But no, they like to play with your hair,
Dude.
just because it's just.
Oh, yeah.
So whatever, I don't mind. And 2 little girls sat down on either side of me behind me, and did cornrows. I said, can you do cornrows? And I said like Allen Iverson, and they were like, yeah. And the one girl on this side, everybody that walked by said, "Oh, she does hair really good." And she wasn't doing it real fast. And this girl on this side kept going, "I don't really know what I'm doing." And so she got like halfway through. And then like maybe 30 minutes later, I just had cornrows on one side of my head. The other side just kind of fell apart.
I remember there was this girl, and I guess she didn't understand that she could like pull hair and it hurts.
Yeah.
So she would like grab a whole chunk of it and like hold my head and just pull it out. And I'm like, I have like veins coming out of the side of my head because like it hurts so bad.
I figure that would be a part of their culture.
And so, yeah, so I had like kind of like a braid in one part, and then the other was just kind of everywhere because of how much she pulled it. But Raiden got his hair braided and like dreads just so many times.
That
He kept those in.
he
Yeah,
walked-
he
He
kept
had
those in.
individuals. He looked like Coolio. Well, actually, he looked like Weird Al when Weird Al made fun of Coolio. But yeah.
Dude, because I remember I walked, after we had done our lesson, I walked back in there, and Raiden, like, he's like, "Hey, Kellen," and I turned around, and I'm like, "Oh, gosh, Raiden." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, you like my hair, bro?" I was like, "Yeah."
You know what's funny to me?
What?
We weren't even like supposed to talk about Detroit on this podcast.
That is funny.
So
It-
let's
but
makes
here's
me
the-
wanna go
it
back.
was
Yeah,
just
no,
such-
I want to go back so
it
bad.
was just such. I'll get to go back. My senior year, I'll get to go back.
I'll get to go back.
You'll go to Utah. You won't go
I'll
to
go.
Detroit.
Yeah, I'll go to Utah my senior summer.
But Kevin will come in wearing a yellow sweatshirt, white sweatpants, and a orange or black beanie. Like he rotated
What does that
beanies.
mean?
Like, I kind of forgot we were like doing a podcast. And I just started talking, and then
That's
I was
good.
back in. I was like, "Oh crap,
We're leaving that part in. We're gonna leave that part in.
Okay.
are we? Are we though?"
Yeah, we are.
Oh, okay.
Does that conclude
Just like we're leaving your
Detroit?
fart and your burp in.
I don't know if it picked up the fart. The burp, probably.
Let's stop talking about it. People don't want to listen to that.
So yeah, move this year was almost more like a fuge than it was. Like it seriously was borderline fuge.
I think one of the best parts about it,
Except it
was
wasn't overnight.
On the second day, it was kind of like the final thing, and we'd been talking about, hey, do we want to go up to the stage when they're doing like the songs and everything? And so Kel was like nagging to go, like he was grabbing my arm, like shaking me, like I want to go. And Hart was wanting to go, and then when I was like, okay, let's go, Hart was like, no, I don't want to go anymore. And then some of the girls wanted to really go, and so Kel's like, dude, they're going, please come with me. So I got up and we went up there, and it was really cool to be up there, and like it was much better than just like being in the back.
Oh, no. We were in the very last row.
Yeah.
We had the
there were
last 3
stadium
rows.
seats, and then there was a fence, and then past the fence there was little
Fold-out
fold-out
chairs, yeah.
So we were in the fold-out chairs, but so we hopped the fence and we went up there, and then we thought they were done singing songs, and so we went back to our seats, and the guy started talking and said, I want them to like lead one more song. So we're like, okay, we got to get back up. And I asked Dalton and Jack, I was like, hey, they might do another song. If we go up there, do you want to come? And Dalton's like, yes. Dalton's like, yes, I want to go. And so
That was a
they
really
start-
good Dalton impression.
That was actually a solid Dalton impression.
Well, and I think it was me, Kel, Hart came with us this time.
Yep.
Heidi, Mackenzie, Riley, and then Natalie and Wynn. They went, and so it's like, y'all, I said Dalton and Jack, I was like, y'all, come on. And so we all ran up there, and you said, like, Dalton, like,
We watched him
Or-
sprint.
Dalton ran.
He
Dalton ran.
sprinted.
That's why I didn't go, was because like I was kind of looking down and just kind of not really paying attention to y'all, like looking forward or whatever. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw somebody like tall and pale.
Yeah.
and it was
Just
Dalton
running.
and Jack freaking.
They were- yeah.
punching through people, like trying to get.
The
up there.
second I saw
no,
that,
it
I
was
wasn't
so-
going to go at first. The
it was
second,
so funny because we were up there and we already got there, and I saw Dalton and Jack come, and so we started singing, like, jumping around. And I felt someone grab my shoulder and turn around, and Cole had ran, and he came, and I was like, yeah, Cole. I looked back, and then I turned around again, and everybody from Bridge has just, like, spawned in, like, right in the middle. And we were in the, like, dead middle almost of it
Yeah.
all, so we were in, like, the best part. But so it was so fun to just see, because nobody was up there at first, and then I turned around and a second later, every single person was up there.
Jack and Dalton are the only reason I went up there. I was sitting by Dawson, and y'all started going up there, and he looked at me, and I was like, is he about to ask if we're going to go up there? And I just continued to stand there and listen because the song was starting. And then I saw Jack and Dalton sprinting, and then all the girls went, and I was like, okay, crap, I guess I have to go. I don't know why I thought that. Like, I knew it was going to be fun.
It was
And so
so
we
fun.
went, and it was fun.
Next year, we're gonna go up there because
We say that every year.
We did this at Fuge. My first year, we were kind of like lame, and then at the last day, we were like really into it, and we're like, oh
And we
man,
enjoyed
we
it.
should have done this like
I know.
we should have done this first day. So the next year we went, we're like, okay, we're gonna be the hype youth group there. We're gonna have fun every single day and like enjoy it, and it was much better. But
See the difference.
next year, that's what we need to do.
Yeah, the difference between Fuge and Move is that it's basically almost, other than like the juniors, seniors, and sophomores, it's a completely new group.
Yeah.
Because almost none of the freshmen, like none of the middle schoolers went on Fuge except for like a few of the 8th graders.
Yeah.
But outside of that, and we have such a large population
not
of
even,
middle
not even the 8th
schoolers.
graders. Wait,
Rylan went.
Rylan went.
Yeah.
So the 7th grade group's never been.
And we have such a large middle school group now.
That's
that-
that's most of our kids.
Yeah, the majority of them didn't go to Fuge, and so it was kind of a whole new group of, hey, they've never experienced the whole going and jumping and
Mosh
having
pit,
fun,
the
and they don't
Christian
want
mosh
to,
pit.
Yeah.
just like we didn't want to when we were younger.
Yeah.
We didn't understand it.
Well, I guess
but
when
then
I say
once you do
we'll
it, you
have
have
to do
fun.
that next year, I mean we'll have to do that next year.
And not me.
That's wild.
So
You know what we
Maybe.
should do?
at least you went. At least you did go this year. That way, there's no regret about
Yeah.
that.
Maybe I should just go with a different church, or maybe I should just come as the general public.
No, because you have,
No,
to,
you
have
have to
that,
have a
You
wristband.
gotta have that wristband that they're like.
You have to have
Let me see your wristband.
Yeah. Wrist up, everybody. No,
No,
like,
and I could
People are,
ride the rides with
scrambling
y'all.
to like show
Yeah.
their.
I could
wrist
ride the
because they're
rides with y'all
yelling
though.
at
Still,
you.
I could still ride the rides with y'all.
we should spend the night in Valdosta.
We
should get a
won't,
hotel.
though.
That would be
Yeah, but
expensive.
that would
It'd
be.
be
I don't
Then
think
we
there's.
could have like, we could have a whole nother like 4 or 5 hours because we could get
No,
at.
because the park opens at 9.
Well, yeah, we could be at the park at 9.
We
The
were
last
at
two
the, we were
times-
at the park at 9.
Mm-mm.
We, were,
the
we
first-
got
we were
there.
at the park at like 10 and 11.
Yeah, and we had to.
I thought the
wait.
first day we got to the church.
The
at
rides don't
7:30.
open. Hey, the park doesn't. The rides don't open until 12.
Really?
Yeah, because on the day that we got there late, the second day, when we got there late,
Well, it would
none
let
of the
us
rides
stay
were still
late. It would
riding.
let us stay late. We
Yeah,
wouldn't
okay,
have to
yeah,
go
yeah,
home.
we could stay later.
And then we could go home like the next morning.
Yeah,
That's what we should do.
yeah,
Yeah, Michael probably won't go for it though.
not our choice to make.
Buzzkill.
So you want to talk
Movies.
about the
Yeah.
line at the Twisted Typhoon?
Oh
Oliver?
yeah. Okay. So
Hearts squared up with some guys.
what day was that? Was that the second day?
Yeah.
Second
I don't know
day.
if I was there because I don't.
You were in
remember.
Well,
line.
this is okay. So this will be Kellen's first time hearing the story. So this will be his genuine reaction. Anyway,
Pressure now.
Listen up.
so we were standing in line for the Twisted Typhoon.
Best
keep
ride.
in-
So it was the most crowded, by the way. I
Keep
just
in
want to point
mind,
that out.
it is the best ride at Wild Adventures, but keep in mind, this is Wild Adventures. This is not the Velocicoaster where you're going to hit 75 miles an hour. You know, you do one barrel roll, and that's pretty much the highlight of the ride.
Basically.
You know, I mean, there's
Yeah.
there's
No,
Just
there's a big drop, a bunch of loop de loops, and then
It's just your
Three
average
barrel rolls back
thrill
to back.
coaster. It's nothing. It's not a
it's
multi-million
your
dollar
average
coaster.
theme park. Like if you go to Universal, that would be the average ride at Universal.
yeah, it's like
No.
a grade or two
don't think so,
below
Joshua?
the Hulk. It's a grade or two below the Hulk. It's nowhere near. I wouldn't say it's on par with Universal at all.
No.
I mean,
Universal is world class.
Yeah.
Wild
Yeah,
Adventures is not.
Yeah. So,
Those
like-
those rides at Universal are multi-million dollar, maybe $100 million coasters.
Yeah, and the
I-
ones at Wild Adventures are used.
Yeah, those. I looked it up. The Twisted Typhoon opened in 1999.
Yeah. So
the boomerang
all right,
was like 25
so
years
we've got,
old. Actually,
yeah, we've got a 25-year-old ride. All right, so this is not state of the art. This is a pretty average
World-breaking
roller
technology.
coaster.
Yeah.
I mean, once you ride it once, that's the it's
Cool.
pretty much just it's
thrill
just
of the
another
first ride's
ride.
over. Like the
Anyway,
adrenaline.
so we're standing in line, kind of maybe halfway through, and this group of 3 or 4 boys is kind of snaking through the line, walking up. All right, so we're standing in line at a slightly mediocre roller coaster that's 25 years old, and this group of 3 or 4 guys kind of starts snaking through the line.
How old were they? Did they look?
Older
My
high
age,
school.
Right.
17,
Yeah.
16, 17, 18, that
Okay.
age. Kind of snaking through the line, real acting like they've got official business at the front of the line. Well, they get directly in front of us. There was a little kind of pocket in between me and Hannah were standing up at the front of our group, and there was kind of like a little pocket between me and Hannah and the group in front of us, mainly because I did the cha-cha slide into a guy, because we started doing the cha-cha slide in the line.
No, it's the Cupid
We
Shuffle.
did.
The Cupid Shuffle. So I was,
'Cause Hart had a
I was,
speaker.
I was to the right, and I kind of bumped into a guy.
He was.
and he
I
walked
ran
that guy was
into a
more to the
guy.
left.
Yeah, I bumped into a guy and kind of like kept walking, and I kind of looked up at him and was like, "Sorry, dude, Cupid Shuffle," and he just kind of looked down at me and didn't smile, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna left to the left to the left to the left." But so there was a little bit of space, and these guys, these 4 guys, just get in front of us and stop, and I looked at Hart, and Hart looked at me, and
Dude, Hart.
me and him at the same time were both like, hey. And they turned. The one guy turned around. He was, I don't know, maybe inches shorter than me.
Could you legitimately sleep him?
I could have legitimately slept him. Me and Hart could have legitimately slept all of them. If me and Hart could have tag team and had a ref in there, we could have won that fight. Anyway, so it's 3 or 4 guys, and they get in front of us and stop. And so me and Hart were like, hey, y'all just cut. You know, kind of trying to.
In front of our whole massive group.
Yeah, in front of our whole group.
We had like at least
15 of
20
us.
people. We
Yeah,
had
15, 20 of us.
So the guy makes eye contact with Hart and just turns back around. And so Hart like reaches over and like kind of aggressively taps him on the shoulder and was like, bro, you can't just cut in line.
Dude,
like,
Hart
you
will
can't-
press you.
Yeah, like Hart was pressing him a little bit. And the guy was like, that's crazy. Last time I checked, we were standing right here. And I was leaning up against the rail, and Hart took a step up, and I took a step off the rail, and I was like, hey, I was kind of like pulling Hart back because Hart kept walking up on him,
Dude, Hart, like I can.
and
think
I was
Hart
like,
would pick him up.
Hart was getting up on him, and I was like, hey, it's okay, Hart, it's okay. I just kind of was. Not really just completely accepting it, just like brushing it off.
It would have been
excusing him.
unnecessary.
I'm not gonna fight somebody for cutting in line
Exactly.
at the Twisted Typhoon.
Exactly. Yeah.
But at the same time, you cut in line at the Twisted Typhoon. Like it's not. Anyway.
It's not that big of a
So
deal.
yeah, the guy rolled his eyes and turned back around, and I was just like,
Oh well.
oh well, freaking yeah. And to that guy, if you're listening to this, to that blonde-headed kid with the denim jacket and the gray hoodie, I'm gonna tell you right now, your youth group is not as good as our youth group. Your youth group is nowhere near our.
Wait,
youth
what did he
group.
look like?
He was, I don't know, blonde-headed, a little bit shorter.
He
than
had
me.
the TikTok hair.
He didn't have the TikTok hair. It was just kind of.
I think
It
I
was
know
like
who
the
you're talking
bushy
about.
front.
Because he was behind us.
He sat in front of us.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be like at like?
'Cause I leaned
I
over
guess
to
he had
Cam.
against y'all. I think he was standing because I was talking because Kale was like completely crapping on Heidi McKenzie and Riley at this point, like just going off on them for no reason at all, and they kind of were standing behind us, and I saw that guy. He was like, "Dang, dude, that kid's like going on them."
Didn't he say to Mackenzie's friend? He said,
No, oh, dude,
he
this is so funny.
He said,
Tell
"You're
this
really-"
story.
He said, "You're really quiet. You must sleep
No,
good."
so this is what happened. So Heidi and Kel had been like joking around the entire day and like
Nagging,
shadow boxing
yeah.
and crap. And so Kel just turns around and he has his hood up, but he has his ears sticking out.
Like
so
the
he-
Snoop Dogg
Yeah.
Grind
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
But so he like, he looked at him and he at first he looks at Heidi and he's like, "You're a brat to everyone. Like I don't like you." Like, he was joking about it, obviously. He was like, "I don't like you. You're just a brat to everybody." And she's like, "I'll hit you right now, Kel." And then he turns to Riley. He goes, "You? I don't know you." He says, "But you're pretty quiet, so you probably fall asleep pretty fast." he was like, "Tell me you don't fall asleep fast." And Riley kind of thinks about it for a second. She's like, Yeah, I guess I do fall asleep pretty fast. He's like, "Yeah, because, quiet people usually, like, in class, they'll fall asleep pretty fast." He said, "You're pretty quiet."
And there was one kid. He sat behind me. He was with his girlfriend. I assume it was his girlfriend, maybe his sister. I don't know. Or his cousin. I don't know. As Mr. Surge would say. Anyway, he was sitting behind me, and we were talking about screaming on roller coasters, and there was a couple of kids in the group that were like, "No, don't scream. I hate it when people scream." So obviously when they said that, we were like, "Okay, we're going to scream."
Yeah.
And so we were, the boomerang kind of slowly takes you back up the hill backwards, before it locks, and then it drops you. So we were backing up, and I was like I would scream, and Hart would scream. Well, this guy joined in. So, I would scream, and then Hart would respond with a scream. Well, this guy joined in, so it was like me scream, him scream, Hart scream, in an order of sequence. And, we did it. It was funny, dude. And we got off the ride, and I was like, "Bro, we were screaming together." And he was like, "Yeah, I know, haha." Well, he followed us not followed us, but we ended up at the Twisted Typhoon at the same time together, and we did the same thing. And we were getting off the ride, and I was like, "Bro, it's you again?" He's like, "Yeah."
That's good.
But yeah, that was cool.
There
Someone
was
lost his book bag.
Yeah. Yeah, Dawson did lose his book bag and did not give two craps.
No, he
Like,
cared. No, he cared.
He tried not to act like he cared, but he was
He
like,
was freaking out because I was there with him. It was me, Grant, Jocelyn, and Dawson. We split off from the group while y'all were doing something else, and Dawson was just he
Depressed.
was gonna get in trouble because he had a
it
really
was a
expensive.
Columbia book bag, and it was like $200. He said, and then he
That's
had
an
like,
exaggeration. No, he didn't have a $200 book bag,
Yeah,
but he
okay.
had a really expensive portable charger in there. He said that was his mom's. That he said he would
The
get
bag was his dad's.
big
too.
trouble. Yeah, he stole the bag from his dad's closet, which he shouldn't have done in the first place, or he should have at least asked. And so last minute, as we were walking out, we went to customer service the first time when we went, and they didn't have it. And so as we were walking out on the second night, I was like, hey, Dawson, just go check customer service one more time just to see if anybody's dropped it off while we were doing the service. And he came back, and he was like, someone dropped it off 3 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And he was so happy. I'd never seen him so happy before. You know, he normally has that straight
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
Like, he was smiling all big and all happy. So that was funny.
Did me and Cole ever tell you about the guy with the funnel cake?
Nope.
Okay, so I don't think a whole lot of people know about this. It was.
Ooh, dropping some big secret.
It's not a big secret. It's just like a little.
It's a mediocrely funny
just like a
story.
little- it's
It
just
hasn't
like
been
a-
funny enough to tell
Dude, that's
everybody.
why, dude, that's why it belongs on the Seinfeld of podcast.
Exactly.
So
Decently, mildly funny and decently entertaining.
Yeah,
we,
somewhat
anyway,
entertaining.
we were walking by, and these two dudes, they were probably between 14 to 16. And this guy, he had like a funnel cake or like a deep fried Oreo or whatever. And I walked by, I'm like, yo, man, can I get a bite? Like, as a complete joke. And he looks at it, and he's like, actually, yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
So he hands it to me, and I'm like, nah, bro, I'm just messing with you. Like, I don't want a bite. And so I was walking with Cole and Elliot. I was like, that guy was about to just give me like half of his funnel cake. And Cole's like, you serious? So Cole like whips around and starts running back after him. He's like, yo, man, can I get a bite? And the guy like completely tears it in half and like gives it to Cole, and he walks off with it. It's like weird.
The exact same thing happened to me and Michael Bond.
Oh,
with some
last
fried
year.
Oreos last year. We were sitting, and this guy was sitting in front of us. He had some fried Oreos. And I said, hey, man, can I get a fried Oreo? And then he was like, yeah. And I was like, no, I'm just joking. Yes, I was. I wasn't going to steal his Oreo. But anyway, like maybe 10 minutes later, he turned around and he was like, hey, bro, do you want these? I don't like them. And I was like, you sure you don't want them? And he was like, yeah, here you go. So he gave them to me and Michael, and there was 4, so we split them. I got 2, he got 2. And about 10 minutes
math.
later, they played the absolute craziest, weirdest, like almost psychedelic video on the big screens.
Oh, yeah.
And me and Michael were sitting there watching
I
this
know
thing,
what you're talking
and I
about.
looked over at Michael, and Michael looked over at me, and he said, bro, what did he put in those Oreos? What are we watching right now?
It was a weird video.
It was a weird
2
video.
years ago, yeah. Yeah.
Those Oreos were laced.
Yeah, this year at Move 2023, another thing that happened was me and Oliver got stuck in the girls' van.
I wouldn't say stuck.
Not stuck.
Dalton was about to have to ride in the girls' van with you, or with Dalton was about to have to ride in the girls' van by himself because there were 2 seats on the no.
I
There
thought it
was
was
one
Jack.
seat. There was one seat on y'all's van, and it was either you or me or Dalton.
I was already getting on the girls' van.
Yeah, and
I
I
had
was-
made sure I wasn't.
and, like,
I wasn't going to
Dalton-
force myself onto the boys' van.
Dalton turned around and looked at me. I was like, it's cool. I'll take this one. Go ahead. And
Which Hannah was on there, so that wasn't bad.
no, Hannah was on the boys' van. I was trying to sit with Hannah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
but I didn't want Dalton to have to sit.
Hannah was upset.
and with a
you.
bunch of stranger girls that he had never met before. Yeah.
But there was room on the girls' van, so Hannah came with us. So it worked out.
And we
Yeah.
watched Harry Potter the entire way back.
Yeah, well, we listened to Jack Johnson and the entirety of. No, we never played Freebird, bro.
I told
we
you
never
to.
played Freebird
I told
for
you
the
to.
girls.
We did on the
The
boys'
girls would have
van.
hated y'all playing Freebird.
Who?
The girls. Like listening to a 9-minute song where half of it's just the guitar. The girls would have hated that.
I think they would have enjoyed it.
It's the greatest piece of music that has ever been composed.
I'm not like doubting that. I'm just saying they want Taylor Swift. You want Freebird.
We didn't listen
I
to
had
any
aux.
girl
I
music
had
that whole
aux the
time.
whole way
We
home.
listened.
Oh,
Yeah, we
actually-
listened to Oliver songs, and they
We
knew
listened
them.
to Jack Johnson and
Upside down.
yeah, we listened to
everything that we would have normally
Baby Come
listened to on
Back.
the boys' van. We
Did
just
they
sang
sing
along.
it like the
Hooked on
boys?
a Feeling.
Did
No,
they-
they didn't sing it, but nobody
Did
complained.
They
you
knew
sing
it,
it? That's
yeah.
the important question. Did you sing it?
I mean,
Man
yeah, we
Without
sung
Love.
along.
Okay.
It was a lot more talking than the boys' van. Like the boys' van is like joking and singing. Like on the girls' van, it was like small talk. Like we just talked the whole time, had conversation.
I say we call it right there. That's solid. That's a solid episode.
Do some sort of outro.
Yo, everybody, thank you for listening today. Catch us next time we drop a video. Make sure to turn those post notifications on and hit the subscribe button. And we'll see you on the next tale.
Yeah.
We'll have a guest next time.
Yeah, we'll have we've got a lot of people we want to have on. Let's see, it's January, so catch us in July when we drop our next episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell us what we can do better. Tell us what you really liked, and then we'll do more of that.
Is there anybody you want to have on?
Yeah, give us
If you want to be
recommendations.
on.
Yeah, if you want to be on, call the number on your screen.
We will pick a random person who comments on the
No,
video.
we're gonna pick the only person who comments on the video.
It's gonna be Nathan. It's gonna be Nathan.
No, Nathan and Cole and like Michael are gonna be spamming like let me on.
Okay.
Someone's gonna
Okay.
comment first.
First person who comments on the video will get to. I promise you will be the next guest.
Yes.
First person who comments, and if that's
You had to have listened all the way through. We'll know if
Yeah.
you listened all the way through.
yeah.
We're gonna ask
Oh
you.
no, let's give them a trivia question. If you answer the trivia question correctly,
Okay. Let me look.
Wait. Let me think. It should be a trivia question from the episode.
Okay.
Oh no! I
Kellen's
got it.
Okay, Oliver's got it. Here is your trivia question. If you answer correctly, you get to be the
Here's
next guest.
the trivia question, and this is honor system. You can't go back and listen. This is the trivia question. What hats were me and Kellen wearing when Kevin told us to take them off because we didn't know what we were representing? There you go. What hats were we what hats were you have to say Kellen was wearing this hat, I was wearing this hat. First person to comment that, you'll be the next guest. So yeah, catch us in July when we drop a new episode, and tell us what we did good, tell us what we did bad, and we'll try to fix it. So thanks for listening. We'll see y'all next time.